What in the Sam hell is going on? So welcome to today's video. I have a lot of things that I want to get done on the Miata today, but the first thing I want to focus on are fenders and bumper. It's been the longest time since this thing's looked like a complete car in the front end, and the main reason why I kept everything off was because of all the fabrication and things like that. We just needed to wait for getting it all back together until we knew where everything was going to run and stuff. Plus the AC and intercooler, there was a lot of stuff, but enough excuses. Let's put the front end back on. Let's make this thing look like a car again. And we can also talk about putting the hood back on probably too. So let's get it done. So it has literally been, I don't know, Chris, would you say 4 hours later?
Yes.
4 hours later. I did not expect putting all of this together would be so difficult, but it's a freaking car again, guys. Check this out. There's something going on in this corner. I think this car was probably previously in an accident or something, or it's this like replacement bumper I got because my other bumper got a bit damaged, but otherwise, everything is together, and it's a car. Look at it. Everything's bolted on. We're missing a light there. That's fine. I haven't put that in yet. But yeah, hood is on. Hood works. Lights work. Everything works. Hell yeah. I don't think the thing hasn't looked like a full car in forever. I'm actually excited. Look at that. Function hood, guys. So yeah, the last few hours I have been stressing out and getting annoyed at the car and frustrated over trying to make the body panels kind of all line up. I'm pretty certain at some point in that Miata's life it's had an accident, just because it's a Miata and it's an old car. There's no way that thing would have gotten like accident free for its entire life. So at the end of the day, like I know everything's not going to go on perfect, but myself being a perfectionist, it's very hard and frustrating to try and figure out all that kind of stuff. There's a reason why, like with body work, I prefer to just like drop it off to the body guy and pay them to do it. There's a reason why they charge so much, and that is because it is so tedious and time consuming to do what they do. Like to get a perfect body line, there's so many hours of work that goes into that, and they have all this experience and expertise to understand that, hey, if you put a little shim on this side, or you bend this that way, or you pull it, like there's all these things where you can't just like have loose bolts and tighten them and everything's going to be perfect into place. So it's a big process going through like the fender, loosening everything, shifting it around, lining that up, and the hood. Like I spent probably 2 hours just trying to line up that hood and figure out why the headlights, so like pop-up headlights are really like a pain to line up with hoods because how the hood's in between them. It's another thing to, it was a huge ordeal. I'm going to stop talking about it. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's all together now. It's not perfect. By no means is the body of this car perfect. It's a function over form build. So, it's more of a sleeper. There's dents and nicks all over the car and stuff. But the thing is going to perform and drive amazingly. So anyways, that aside, I'm hoping that tomorrow I'll be able to organize some registration and stuff for it so we can at least take it for a drive and put some miles on it and test things out. I want to go to an event and things like that. I'm also pretty certain that tomorrow I'm throwing it on the dyno. But anyways, tonight it's already super late and I don't really have any more things that I can get done tonight. Also, it's raining and it's been raining all day, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I'm sure that on a really rainy day, rain just takes motivation out of people for some reason. When it's a nice sunny day, I'm pumped and I'm ready. When it's raining, I'm kind of like, I just want to stay inside and play Call of Duty. So I'm gonna go do that now, and we'll pick things up in the morning. Man, it feels so good to see this thing back together like this. We still got a few things to sort out. You guys probably heard when I was reversing it out, wheels catching on the inner fenders and stuff, and I haven't put the bolts in the bottom of the fender there, but we're so close. I'm gonna finish that all up today, and then get these lights in and stuff, get this thing looking way better. Man, we are so close to this thing doing its final dyno runs. We've also got to get some new boots for the steering rack and get this thing aligned. Don't know if you can see, but the alignment is a little bit off, especially after we installed those knuckles. So we definitely need to get that sorted out. Those lights are somewhere here in one of these boxes of parts. Let's see if we can kind of figure this out right away. Then here. Oh, that reminds me, I need to get new horns for the car. These are kind of just not going to work. Look how rusted they are. Not in there. Not in there. Hey, there they are. All right, 1 and 2. So I'm putting these lights in. These are the ones that came on the car originally. The current one that is in here came with the bumper that I got from Treasure Coast Miata, and these are just in a nicer condition than this one. This one's got a little bit of a chip here, and it's not as shiny, it's kind of cloudy. So these are gonna do way better. Can I just say, Florida, tops to you for actually giving me a nice sunny day for once. Last couple days have been so miserable with all the rain, and it really affected my motivation yesterday. So I'm glad that we got some nice sunny weather back. So these two headlights are going in. Well, not headlights, but you know what I'm saying. Get those lights in. Let me get a screwdriver and get this underway. Oh, floor gang. Yes, look at that. We're getting closer, boys and girls. All right, now I want to work on these fender liners. This is what's catching on the wheel and stuff here, the inner fender here. But I do need to cut a tiny bit out of there for the intercooler piping, which, by the way, clears amazingly. Like, literally doesn't come in contact with anything of the main bumper here and stuff. Oh, we need to put these light bulbs into the side of the bumper too for the side indicators. But yeah, I'm actually very impressed with how this worked perfectly, because we didn't have the bumper when we fabbed this up. So we kind of took a gamble and guessed everything. And it worked out very nicely in our favor. So all I have to do is kind of cut a tiny bit out of the fender liner, and we are good. Man, this thing is literally a sleeper, a total sleeper. It just looks like a standard kind of little bit of a beat up Miata, and then you pop the hood and it's bam. We need to put the bolts in the bottom of these fenders too. Let's do that next, actually. Just quickly as well, before we jump onto those fenders, when the build is finished and off to its new owner, I'm gonna have a little bit of a fire sale. There's a whole bunch of like Miata parts and stuff that I've either acquired and stuff during the build that obviously are not needed for the build anymore or not needed for the car because we've replaced them. So if any of you guys are into Miatas and you need some parts, keep an eye out for that. I'll be posting everything on my Instagram story. So definitely check out my Instagram handle. It's down in the top of the description. And you can get yourself a sick deal when those parts go up for sale. One really cool thing that I did when I started building this Miata was I jumped on eBay and bought a bunch of these black zinc coated 10mm bolts, the M6 bolts, and I got a whole bunch of different sizes in them. But because they're zinc coated black, they don't rust or anything like that, and they look super clean in the car. So yeah, a little pro tip. I think it was only like $6 or $7 for a pack of 50 of these on eBay here in the US. So definitely get yourself amongst these guys. They're amazing. Miatas are literally like the easiest cars in the world to work on. So simple. Ah, dropping all my nuts. I mean bolts. Same thing. Not really. These are always the hardest ones to get in because they always get subjected to like a lot of water and rust and stuff. There we go. I just finished cutting out just these two pieces in the fender liner, and now everything clears fine in there, and I've just tucked it all up. It doesn't touch the wheel or anything. So that's all I had to cut out for that intercooler piping we added, which is amazing. Same on this side. Didn't have to touch anything. That's all perfect. So there we guys go. This thing will drive now and not make any noise or any rubbing noises. The other little thing that I want to work on today is there's a little water leak on the turbo. This line here. Now I've tried redoing this twice now, but it seems like the crush washer here is actually just the wrong size, and it doesn't have enough like material to press against the housing of the core here to seal it. What it does is once it gets up to temperature and a bit of pressure builds up, a little bit of water sprays out and sprays onto this. You can kind of see there where it's been spraying onto it. So I'm going to go to AutoZone right now and get some copper crush washers. These alloy ones work great, but I just want a little bit of a bigger crush washer there, so there's more surface area for it to press on and less issues. So I'm going to go do that, and then we should be able to run this thing and go for a little bit of a drive. Got myself some crush washers from AutoZone. So let's pop this bad boy off and get in here and replace that one that's on there, and hopefully no more leaks. That would be lovely. This is the only leak on the entire car. Oh boy, we got some fluids, boys. She's a bit wet. Stuck that up there. There we go. Yeah, need to get the socket for that one. One sec. Alright, there we go. Yeah, you can really see this crush washer was just the wrong size. Yeah, I'll show you in a second, guys. Let me get it off. So this might be hard to see on the camera, but you can see it's like bent and twisted there because it was just too small and got sucked in. So put that aside, and hopefully in this assortment pack there's one in here that'll be the right size. I'm optimistic. There she goes. Much bigger copper washer. Crush washer, sorry. I did put a tiny bit of RTV on the threads too, just to help them seal. Although I'm sure we don't need it now that we've got the right copper washer, crush washer thing on there. But just for peace of mind and all that, you know. Let's get this back on here. Alright, nice and tight there now. Hopefully, no more leaks. So, I'm going to start everything up, top up the radiator with any fluids if there's anything missing, let this thing get up to temperature and see if we got any more leaks. Here we go, foot on the clutch. Man, this thing starts so good without an IAC. We're gonna have the IAC all sorted out before we're finished. We'll probably get it sorted out later today on the dyno, but thing idles pretty good without one. I guess if you've just got an aftermarket ECU and a good tuner, you can get it sorted out. So far, no leaks. Let's see how it goes once it gets some pressure in the system. So the car is now up to temperature. The radiator fan is turning on and off. If we check the gauge here, we can see that we're smack bam in the middle there, which is great. And I can see that there's no water leaking out of my turbo. So it looks like just needed a bigger copper washer, crush washer there. The RTV probably helped a little bit as well, but I'm sure at the end of the day it was just a crush washer. I also found that my V-band down there was a little bit loose as well, so I tightened all the V-bands again. And now there's absolutely no exhaust leak. The only clicking I can hear are my loud ass injectors. Otherwise, we're looking good. I also zip tied this all up, so that's out of the way now. We can get the belt on here for the power steering and AC. My AC lines are just sitting there right now, zip tied up to the sway bar. Just until I get these lines put in, I need to get onto a lift to be able to do that. So we'll leave that disconnected for now. No power steering light. Let's go out for a little cruise. I have to admit, it feels so good just driving this thing around. And quite frankly, it's really smooth for how this thing is put together. Like, I was expecting it to be a bit rougher. I mean, the only thing that would make it better right now is power steering, but that's literally right around the corner. We just got to put a belt on for that, and all of that works fine. But just how nice this thing idles and runs is super cool. Oh, by the way, there's this super cool top secret Supra here at HP Logic right now. Look how sick that thing looks. Let's go for a little bit more of a drive. Hey, look, it's my children. Hey, guys. Let's go for a little zoot zoot. Woo! This thing rips. Whoa, we just hit gate, boys. That sounded so cool. All right, that's my little drive done. We got a bunch of other things to get done today, and I got to go help Chris move a fish tank from his new house. Man, this car just feels incredible. I love it. So that's where I'm gonna leave today's video. I know it's kind of short and a lot of super simple stuff, but that's pretty much everything I needed to touch up on and button up for the dyno today. All the sensors we got to plug in. We just got that one plug that we plug into the Mega Squirt, and I'll be checking all of that over with Jack in the next video, tomorrow's video. But I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. The Miata is ripping. We got to hear it on gate a little bit there. AFRs were brilliant, 11.9 through that little first gear pull. And it sounded so good hearing wastegate for the first time on that thing. So I'm really excited. I hope you guys are too. The car is back together. It looks like a car again, and it's only a matter of time now before we go and test this thing at a track. So get excited, smash that like button, write us a comment, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's video. Peace out, Jamata.